Morning. Thanks for joining me on another little talk while I walk. Um, it's been a pretty cool start to this morning. I got out and I was actually looking for this like mother deer and her fawns that I've seen a handful of times, and I didn't see her, but I got to see a little family of foxes with a couple of them being babies. So that was a kind of a cool little thing to check out and experience to start the day. But I've kind of started posting more videos, and what I want to talk about today is a little bit of kind of the balance between comfort and discomfort, and how it's always kind of swaying back and forth, especially when you're kind of moving forward and wanting to make changes in your life or improve yourself, and how sort of the idea of one switches up with the other. So, creating changes in your life, especially if it's a bigger change, like if you're unhealthy, if you're overweight, if you don't feel good about yourself, or you don't like how your relationship is or how your job at work is, like changing that up is tough. It's scary, and what's scary is that there's a lot of unknowns, right? Even when we know, like with me, I'm starting this new business, and I knew where I wanted to go. I knew there were things that were going to come up, and there were going to be issues that I was going to have to face and learn to deal with, but I didn't know exactly what it was, and that's, I think, what deters people a lot of times, is they're afraid of the unknown, right? They're afraid of what's going to come up. So, like, embracing that discomfort helps, because I'll tell you, just personally with me, the things that I've learned in the last few months, after having already been involved with starting up multiple businesses in my life, some that have been successful, some that were failures and terrible failures, even with all of those lessons, there's still a lot of stuff that I've learned in the last few months, because I was willing to face those uncomfortable and unknown challenges that were going to come up. And that's sort of where that balance of comfort and discomfort comes in. So because I was willing to embrace the discomfort that I knew was going to be a little more in the present, it would bring more comfort in the future, right? But if you go the other way, a lot of times if you're just embracing what's comfortable in the present, especially when you're wanting to make changes, you're not going to have that stimulation, and it's probably going to bring discomfort down the road, right? Take, for example, if you want to get healthy, right? Let's say if you're 40 pounds overweight and your weight has been going up and your health is starting to get a little on the rough side, if you still opt for that comfort of just sitting on the couch, eating that comfort food, right? Pizza or whatever it is that you like, it might feel comfortable in that moment, but those comfortable moments over and over and over are actually going to create more discomfort down the road, because the next thing you know, that 40 pounds is going to turn into 50 and then 70, and then who knows what kind of health issues can cascade from there, right? Whereas on the other side, if you feel like it's comfortable to sit on the couch and eat that pizza, as opposed to the discomfort of facing the fear of going to a gym, having to deal with like the mental stress of maybe thinking about, are people going to judge you, or are you going to get in there with people that are more fit than you? Like, having to face that stuff is tough. That's uncomfortable. But if you realize that facing that stuff is actually going to bring you comfort down the road, that's what's easier. And I feel what's tough in our culture, in our society, in the way that we've been raised with instant gratification, it's really hard for people to look past kind of like that immediate perception level and look, down the line. And so one of the things that's really helped me with that is looking at goals backwards, or things that I want to achieve backwards. So instead of thinking about like how long the journey is to get somewhere, I figure out where I want to go. So let's say if it's 20 pounds, right? And I say like, okay, in 6 months, I want to lose 20 pounds, right? Instead of thinking about day one and moving all the way down to, day 6 of 6 months, which is what, like 182.5 days, 182, whatever. I start to look at the end and I say, okay, in 6 months, I'm going to have lost 20 pounds. So then, what do I need to have done at 3 months? What do I need to have done at 1 month? What do I need to have done at 2 weeks? What do I need to have done tomorrow? So by stepping backwards like that, a lot of times it's easier for me to be able to see the comfort that's going to come, rather than thinking about the discomfort that I'm going to have to go through. Because anytime you want to make changes, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. Think about everything that you've done in life, and as much practice as every single human being has at facing discomfort, it's still always there. There's so many people that are always afraid to make changes, always afraid of what's going to come, like fear of the unknown, the chaos. But dealing with that chaos, it brings a lot of benefit, and that's how we evolve, and that's what really is inherent in all human nature, is evolving and growing and changing. Especially, when it comes down to purpose. Like for me, a lot of my driving focus in trying to improve and trying to evolve myself is because I'm trying to learn so that I can do things like this, where I can share with other people, and I can help more and more people face things in their life and change. And kind of like, isn't that really sort of the purpose of all life forms, is trying to figure out how to survive and how to improve our chances to survive, right? So that a lot of times is my driving factor, is that when I feel like I need a little bit of an extra boost in my life to help me face that discomfort, I think like, okay, if I face these challenges, not only am I going to improve myself, but I'm going to be able to take those experiences and help improve those around me. So, that's kind of the idea of the power of one, which we won't expand on too much, but it's that idea of that the more you improve yourself, the more that you focus on yourself, the more that you'll actually help improve everybody around you, which then helps improve everybody around them. And I like that, and that's the whole thing with opening up my gym, is that for me, it's basically the way that I have the best opportunity to contribute to changing the world in a positive way. Like that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm starting it, is because the more that I take the positive changes I've made in my life, and I now have a space where I can bring more and more people in, and I can try to take some of those experiences to affect positive change in their life, then hopefully they'll be able to go out and affect positive change in those around their lives and those around their lives. And it's that ripple effect, which of course that's not an original idea on my part. There's many people that talk about it, but that's the case, And so I'm grateful for all the uncomfortable times in my life that have allowed me to find that comfort down the road and to improve, so that I can kind of share that with people and hopefully help them step forward. So, with some of the other videos I've talked about, just think about that discomfort that's going to come, and instead of being afraid of the challenges that are going to come up, or fear of the unknown, just be excited that you're going to get to have some new experiences. Like I said, these last few months with my new business, I've learned so much. It's crazy to me. At 41 years old, and having been involved in businesses and fitness and nutrition, there's still like constant light bulbs going off, and I love it. Like it's amazing how that works. I think a fly just tried to fly at my nose, but so think about that. Maybe that'll help. Think about that balance, that back and forth of comfort, discomfort, and how that comfort in the beginning, that discomfort in the beginning, really can help bring some comfort down the road. But the only thing to remember is, once you have that comfort down the road, then it's time to embrace new discomforts, so that you can take the next step and the next step. But the better you get at facing that discomfort, the more it actually becomes comfortable, which is kind of the trick. So hope that helps. I'm gonna finish my walk, go home, have some breakfast, take my son to football practice, and get on with my day. So hope you guys enjoy your day. See you next time.